Oh my God, bad gigs. Okay, where to start? Okay, first one is if you're ever on tour in Italy, they have this thing where you buy a ticket for a train because it's just easier and cheaper to go from gig to gig by train. You don't just take that ticket and get on the train. I mean, that would make sense to most Americans, right? You know, you buy a ticket, you get on a train, conductor comes along and punches it. Wrong. You have to validate that ticket before you get on the train. You have to buy the ticket, then go over to a machine and validate it, get on the train. Why? I don't know. But you'll have a conductor come along, you'll get on the train, you go to the, somewhere between the first stop and the second stop or the third stop, the conductor will come on the train and ask you for your ticket, and if it's not validated, you have to get off on the next stop. Yep, that's right. Get off, validate it, and get on the next train, which means you're most likely late for your gig. That's number one. Number two, always have extra bridge pins. So early in my career, I made so many mistakes early in my career. That's why I'm trying to help you to avoid these idiotic things that I've done. So we were in this giant cavernous warehouse club in Europe playing a gig, and it was horrendous because, the club was pretty full actually, so that was nice, but the band before us was like a Guns N' Roses tribute band, because the Guns N' Roses were big at that time, and then we were coming on with this folk acoustic duo afterwards. Try to avoid those situations being on a completely mismatched, idiotic, bad bill. But a big cavernous warehouse club, humongous stage, really meant for big rock bands, and me and my guitar player up there playing, and this was back when I was banging too hard on my guitar because I wasn't trusting the electricity. We talked about that in a previous episode. I was towards the end of the set, I broke a string and the bridge pin popped off. Well, you couldn't find that bridge pin. Again, this was like a festival size stage and it was pitch black dark. Anyway, we got through the next few songs. I let my guitar player take a couple songs. I did a couple more, just avoiding that string. I think it was like the B string, which is a hard string to avoid. I could have avoided the E string easily. And anyway, we finished the gig. It's like 2 a.m, and I'm demanding to crawl around on the stage and have them put the lights on because I have to find this bridge pin. I don't have any extra bridge pins. And if I don't have any extra bridge pins, how am I going to continue this tour, and play? I had extra strings, I just didn't have extra bridge pins. So, extra bridge pins, keep them in your gig bag. Anyway, those are the two that come to mind off the top of my head, but there'll be plenty more, like the time that my guitar player turned his back on the audience because they didn't like the drummer.